Alrighty, please stand by. Steve Aquilon here with you, and it's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. First day of April 25th, first game of April 25th. We'll get to a couple of facts here before the game starts. Take it nice and slow on a snow day here in Spokane. Greetings, everyone. The game, as you can see, is the Kansas City Athletics at the Cleveland Indians. But first, some updates. First of all, I got my laptop in yesterday, and I got it back yesterday afternoon. Turnaround time was about 2 hours, and it was not a battery. It was a bad RAM stick, easily replaceable, not terribly expensive, still more than I would have liked to shell out, but it is what it is. The good news, of course, is that I have it. And there was no data loss, and I was able to update my stats and standings. So let's take a few minutes to get to that. Or let's do the lineups first, and then I'll get to the stats. Raleigh Sheldon will be pitching for Kansas City today, 4.12 in 149 innings of work, 23 starts. Sudden Sam McDowell, 2.87, 28 starts, 194 innings with 225 strikeouts. Holy cow. He's a strikeout machine. I mean, Sheldon doesn't have a bad card. Little dinger problem against lefties, but other than that, but look at McDowell's card. My God, there's some walks. There's hardly any hits on that card. It's just insane. So we're going to go through the lineups, and then we'll get to the standings and the stats. For Kansas City, Bert Campy Campaneris will lead off at shortstop. Jose Tartabull is in center. Mike Hirschberger in right. Ken Harrelson at first base, hitting cleanup. Dick Green is at second base. Ed Charles at third. Ozzie Chavarria is in left field. Ken Suarez will do the catching again and hit eighth. Raleigh Sheldon will hit ninth. For Cleveland, it'll be Vic Davalillo leading off in center. Max Alvis is at third base. Leon Wagner in left field. Rocky Colavito in right field hitting cleanup. Fred Whitfield at first. Pedro Gonzalez at second. Larry Brown is the shortstop. Del Crandall will catch and bat eighth. Sudden Sam bats ninth. And now, as promised, let me unhook this for a minute here. We'll go to the standings, updated after 2 weeks complete. Here's where we are at, okay? Zoom right in there on it. I'll hold this. We've got a three-way tie in the American League. Indians, Twins, and Orioles, all tied for first. Baltimore tied for first. Detroit, a game and a half. Chicago and Washington just 3 back. Everybody bunched there in the middle. California, Kansas City 3.5. Boston 4. New York at 1 and 9. They're the only team that seems to be in trouble. 6.5 out already in the National League. You have the Dodgers 10 and 2, a game ahead of Pittsburgh at 9 and 3. The Phillies are 2 back. Giants are 3 back, Braves 4 back, Astros 4.5, St. Louis 5, very tightly bunched. Cincinnati, even at 3 and 6, is only 5.5 games out. The Mets at 2 and 7 are in trouble, and nobody is in more trouble than the lovable losers, the Chicago Cubs at 1 and 10. Already 8.5 games off the pace. Now let's get to the leaders here. Where is that? I got to find the hitting leaders. Here we go. How about that? There you have it all. American League home runs. I cut it off at 4. I cut RBIs off at 9 in both leagues. So in the American League, we have Colavito, Mincher, and the Boog tied for the league lead with 5 home runs. Horton, Valentine, and a pair of Angels, Warner and Reichart with 4. In the National League, Willie McCovey leads the majors in homers with 6. Aaron and Dick Allen with 5. Stargell, Wynn, Bill White and a pair of Giants, Hart and Mays with 4. Bill White also leads the major leagues in runs batted in with 15. Allen and Aaron with 13. Stargell and Lou Johnson with 11. Bailey of Pittsburgh with 10. McCovey and Mays 10 apiece. Joe Torre, Jimmy Wynn with 10. Dennis Menke and Randy Hundley, a couple kind of surprising entries in there with 9. The American League, K-Line leads with 12, and you might remember he drove in one as a pinch hitter in yesterday's ball game, his 12th. Then you have Horton, Canigliaro, Dick McAuliffe, and Paul Blair with 10. Colavito, Demeter, and Boog Powell with 9. When I was updating this, I couldn't help be struck by the fact that Harmon Killebrew still has 7. He had 7 at the end of week 1, and at that time was listed among the league leaders. In pitching, Sudden Sam leads the AL in victories with 3. He'll be going for his 4th today. Marichal, Veal, and Koufax with 3 wins. In AL saves, Don McMahon and Larry Sherry with 2 apiece. National League, Roy Face, your save leader with 3. Darrell Knowles with 2. And that has been your stat update. Let's see if I can get this back in the holder here without screwing things up too badly. Painless. Fairly painless. There you go. Let's kick that crowd noise up now. There we go. So hopefully you enjoyed the stat update. I may do it again before the second game, which will be, by the way, the second game on the schedule is Minnesota at Detroit. But right now it's Kansas City at Cleveland. We're getting ready to roll here. Take it slow on a snow day here in Spokane. 4 to 8 inches. It's coming down hard now. I might play 2 games today. We'll see. Here we go anyway. Let's get one in and we'll worry about that later. Welcome, Kurt Miller. 52-27 indeed. And Bill Haller calling the balls and strikes as McDowell's ready to go and Bert Campaneris steps in. Here's the windup. Here's the first pitch, a 3-12 against the lefty, and he hits him. Oh my, right off the bat, Campaneris hit by a pitch. Not a great idea if you're McDowell. Campaneris with blazing speed. McDowell a -1, Crandall a 0. At 18, he'll be a 16 held on, and they're going to hold him on. And he's going to try for the lead. 1 to 16, he needs a 2 through 6 or a 12. 3, he's got it. Here he goes, 1 through 16. Crandall's throw, he's in there. Campy's stolen it. So stolen base, Campaneris. He takes second. The next pitch to Tardible. Left on left now, a 5-6. Struck him out. Not too surprising. And that's going to bring up Mike Hirschberger. Runner at second, 1 down now, just getting underway. McDowell assigned from Crandall. Here's the pitch, a 4-9 against the right. He gets a homer 1 to 3. Hirschberger, however, is a weak. The roll is a 2, so that's going to be good, but it'll be good for a single 2 stars, and that will score Campaneris. So let's take another look at that one there. 4-9, righty, homer to 3. The roll's a 2 against a lefty, or against a righty for that matter. Hirschberger a weak. He drives in Campy, and it's 1-0 Kansas City. And Hirschberger is star 16 with the hold 15. He'll be held on, making him a 1 through 13. And Hawk Harrelson will be the hitter. Got my tea here. Got a good night's sleep for a change. And greetings, Mike C. 15 in Philly. It's 18 here now in Spokane-Waugh. Snow coming down like a mother. From the stretch. Pitch to the Hawk. A 3-6 single 2 star into right. Oh my God, there goes Hirschberger. He's into third. Boy, and the Athletics are all over McDowell here in the first inning. After he hit the first batter, they've rallied for 2 hits, and they've got speed all over this team. Harrelson, a star 18. He'll be held on. That'll make him a 1-15. With 1 out, he's going to try for the lead. 4 or a 5. Does not get it. And here's the next pitch to Green. 1-7 against the lefty. Oh my God, that's ripped into the left center gap for extra bases. Here comes Hirschberger to score. Harrelson into third. That's going to be a double for Dick Green. An RBI double, and it's 2-0, Kansas City. And Del Crandall's going out to the mound already, trying to see if there's something wrong with McDowell. He hit the first batter, then he struck out Tartable, and he hasn't fooled anybody since. Okay, Crandall back behind the plate now. 1 down, 2 runners in scoring position. Ed Charles, the batter, they're going to go ahead and pull the infield in. Cleveland doesn't feel they can allow any more here. And here's the pitch to Charles. On a 1-11, he pops him up. Left side, that's infield fly rule. Brown's under it. And that's the 2nd out of the inning. Just getting started here. A lot of action already. He should actually be over here more. Here's Chavarria now. 2 down, infield plays back. Here's the pitch, a 1-4, tapper down to second base. That's going to be Gonzalez. He's got it. Flips over to Whitfield, and that will do it. Kansas City, though, scores 2 early. 3 hits and leave a pair. At the end of half an inning, it is Kansas City 2, Cleveland coming to bat. Kansas City comes into the ball game with a 3-5 record. Cleveland, of course, tied for the American League lead at 6-1. I'm reading Kurt's comment now. The Hawk was a good something shooter. I can't read that word. Pool shooter. There you go. Okay, I get it now. Raleigh Sheldon gets loose. As we're about ready to start the bottom of the first, just getting underway. Glad you guys could join me. Spend part of your wintry day with Strat-O-Matic 1966. Here's Davalillo now to lead it off for Cleveland. Sheldon, the right-hander, gets his sign from Suarez. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-6. Struck him out. Vic Davalillo down on strikes. Here's Max Alvis now, right-handed hitting third baseman. Sheldon into the windup. 3-3 against the right-hander. Comebacker. Sheldon knocks it down. Picks it up over to Harrelson, 2 away. And here's Leon Wagner. Wagner, 23 home runs that season. In real life, that is. The pitch from Sheldon. That's going to be a 5-6 to the right-hander. And Wagner lines a base hit to the opposite field. Nope, hang on. 5-6 against the lefty. He lines a single into center field. My apologies. 5-6 lefty. Wagner not a threat to run. 2 out single. And that'll give Rocky Colavito a shot. Rocky, as we just saw, among the American League home run and RBI leaders. Sheldon from the stretch. Here it is, a 1-8. Fly ball to center field. That's going to be playable for Tartable. He's fading back on it and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We've completed an inning here in Cleveland. It's 2-0 Kansas City. You never know what's going to happen in this game, right? I mean, you'd look at this matchup going in and you'd think, boy, Kansas City will be lucky to score against McDowell, and Cleveland should be all over Sheldon. Well, so far, exactly the opposite has transpired. McDowell's ready to work here in the second inning. It'll be Suarez to lead things off, the right-handed hitting catcher. The pitch from McDowell, a 6-9 against the righty. A single to two, but that's going to be a ground ball to short, playable by Brown, who throws him out, and there's one away. Here's Sheldon now, the right-handed hitting pitcher. A W, one hitter's card. The pitch from McDowell on a 6-6, swung on and missed, strike three. Should not be at all surprising. Sheldon simply overmatched by three McDowell heaters, and here's Campaneris with two away. McDowell the windup. Here's the pitch, a 3-4 against the lefty. Ground ball down to short, easy play for Brown. Routine over to Whitfield, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning for McDowell, who settles down nicely in the second. So whatever was wrong with McDowell in the first, he seems to have figured it out. And we'll move along to the bottom of the second. Wasn't Hawk a broadcaster too after he retired, Kurt? I'm almost certain he was. I could be thinking of somebody else. And we'll get to the bottom of the second inning, and then I want to show you guys something cool that I almost forgot about. Whitfield, Gonzalez, and Brown for Cleveland. Or maybe we'll wait a couple innings. I'll get to it, hopefully. In fact, let me grab that thing right now so I don't forget. There we go. That'll remind me. Here's Whitfield now. Sheldon the windup. That's going to be a 2-8 against the righty. He pops him up. Right side, green there, and makes the catch. And here's Pedro Gonzalez now, right-handed hitting infielder. Played a little left field that year as well. Sheldon the windup. Here's the pitch, a 6-4 to the right-hander. That's going to be a fly to center field X. That'll be Tartable. He's a 2-E2. Drifting to the gap, here's the play. On a 16, he makes the catch for the out. So that'll go 8X, 2 down. And Larry Brown will be the hitter. So Sheldon looking very sharp here in the early going. As he gets his sign from Suarez. The pitch to Brown, a 5-7, a single to two, but that liner is going to be right into the glove of Ed Charles. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Raleigh Sheldon. We've completed two, and it is 2-0 Kansas City. And thank you, Kurt. There it is. That's what I thought. Thank you. Okay, we move to the third. It's going to be Tartable, Hirschberger, and the Hawk. The aforementioned Hawk to bat for Kansas City. McDowell gets his sign from Crandall now. Pitch to Tartable, left on left. It's a 4-11, and he walks him. So Fantastic Sam not looking quite as fantastic as anticipated today. Tartable with blazing speed. He's a 1-16 held on, and he's going to try for that lead, 2-5 and 12. He's got the 5. Here he goes, 1-16. Crandall's throw. He's in there on a possible overthrow number. Crandall is a 1-10, and he throws it into center field. Oh, my God. Stolen base and error. Tartable winds up on third. Stolen base and E2, and Tartable's on third with nobody out. And here's the next pitch to Hershberger. 5-5, swung on and missed strike three. And now Cleveland's going to pull the infield in with one out. And Harrelson at the plate. Harrelson, of course, singled his first time up. Infield in, one down. Here's the pitch, a 4-7. Struck him out. And that's more like the McDowell we paid to see. Two down, and here's Dick Green. 4 Ks now for Sam. Runner on third, 2 away. Full windup now. Here's the pitch to Green. A 5-8, swung on and missed strike three with a runner on third and nobody out. Sam McDowell strikes out the side. Holy cow, how about that? Still 2-0 Athletics as we move to the bottom of the third. Sheldon getting loose. Steve having some tea. I see Kurt and Mike. We got a few other people in the chat. You know, if you haven't posted in the chat, go ahead and introduce yourself. We'd love to hear from you. Here's Crandall now to lead off for Cleveland. They trail by 2 as we move to the bottom of the third. Sheldon into the windup. Righty on righty. Here it is. 4-6. Fly ball to center field. Easy play for Tartable, who makes the catch for the out. McDowell will be the batter now. Left-handed hitter. He's a W. Sheldon's pitch on a 1-9. How about that? McDowell has a base hit up the middle. Ho, ho, ho! 1 out single for Sam McDowell. I'm always surprised when these lower number pitcher hitting cards get a hit. So 1 down, McDowell at first, and here's Davalillo now. Davalillo struck out his first time up. Now here's Sheldon from the stretch. That's going to be a 1-6. Struck him out again. I think on the same number. Maybe, not positive. So 2 down, and here's Max Alvis. Sheldon from the stretch. That's a 6-7 to the right-hander. It's going to be a double to 6, and on a 5, that's going to be a double, a 2-star double. McDowell will hold up at third. Alvis into second with a double. And Cleveland has the tying runs in scoring position, albeit with 2 away. And Leon Wagner steps to the plate. Wagner singled his first time up. Sheldon very deliberate now as he stares in to get his sign. The full windup and the pitch, a 1-4. High fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Hershberger. It's gone. 3-run homer. Leon Wagner and the Cleveland Indians take the lead. McDowell scores. Alvis scores. Let's take another look. 1-4 right-handed, no doubt about that one. Holy cow. Let's go to the stats here for a second. For Wagner, that's his 3rd home run of the season. So a mammoth blast to right by Leon Wagner, and Cleveland takes the lead. Here's Colavito now. Sheldon pitch. 3-2 liner. Speared by Charles, and that's going to do it. So a hard liner right at the third baseman. The Indians get 3 runs on 3 hits. The 3-run blast by Wagner, of course. And after 3 complete, it's Indians 3, Athletics 2. Now McDowell's got a lead. He seemed to get it together there in the 3rd inning. Prior to that, hasn't looked very McDowell-like. But it can all change on one roll of the dice, as we well know. Charles, Chavarria, and Suarez due for Kansas City here as we move along to the 4th inning. Wow, and Hawk's 82 years old. Living in Granger, Indiana. Thank you, Kurt. Good information there about Hawk Harrelson. Here's Charles now. McDowell gets his sign. The windup. Pitch to Charles, a 1-4 against the left-hander. It's a tapper down to short. That'll be Brown. He has it over to Whitfield. 1 away. Here's Ozzie Chavarria now. Chavarria, a part-time player, 241 and 191 at-bats. He gets the start today in left. McDowell with the windup. It's a 6-10 to the right-hander. Struck him out. Boy, and now they're piling up. That's 6 Ks for McDowell now. In fact, this is one of those games where I may start tracking that. I've got a feeling deep inside. Oh, yeah. Here's Suarez. McDowell, 6-7 to the righty. He walks him. Ball 4, and Ken Suarez will take his base with 2 down. And that'll bring up Sheldon. Sheldon was pitching a gem up until he grooved one to Leon Wagner. Pitch to McDowell. That's a 2-10, and he walks him. Oh, my God. And as you guys all know, on a one-hitter's card, a 2-10 is the only possible safe chance. So he walks 2 with 2 away. McDowell still seeming to be battling with some control issues here. And here's Campy. First and second, 2 down. From the stretch, pitch to Campaneris, a 6-8. And he walks him to load the bases. And McDowell suddenly has walked the bases full. Sudden loss of command. He'd struck out 6. And here's Tartable. Bases loaded, 2 down. A's trail by a run. McDowell full windup now, 1-5. Tapper down to first base. That's going to be Whitfield. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that will do it. So the Athletics leave the bases loaded. 3 walks, no hits, no runs. And just like that, we go to the bottom of the 4th. I'm kind of waiting to see if Joel Horlin will appear on the scene today. Or perhaps Joel's already there in stealth mode. Who knows? Usually Joel posts something in the chat. Whitfield, Gonzalez, and Brown due for Cleveland in the bottom of the 4th. They lead by a run. Sheldon ready to work now. The windup. Pitch to Whitfield, a 1-4 against a right-hander. Tapper down to third. That's going to be Ed Charles. He throws him out 1 down. Pedro Gonzalez will be the batter now. Sheldon into the windup. 3-6 against a right-hander. Grounder to third. That's going to be Charles again. Repeat performance. Throws him out. 2 down quickly, and here's Larry Brown. Sheldon into the windup. There's a 3-8 against the right-hander. It's a single to 5, and that's going to be in there. Knocked down by Green. He has no play, and that will be an infield single for Larry Brown. Brown, no threat to run, and here's Del Crandall. Sheldon from the stretch. The pitch to Crandall. 1-5. Tapper down to second. That's Green. He's going to go the short way to Campy, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We've completed 4, and it is Cleveland 3, Kansas City 2. And Wagner only batted 171 versus Raleigh Sheldon, but did have 2 home runs lifetime. Well, he certainly knocked the crap out of that one. To the fifth we go. Hirschberger, Harrelson, and Green due for Kansas City. Anyone have any preferred rooting interest today? Oftentimes on Jeffrey's channel, they will say who they're for. People here seem to like to just let the game unfold as it will, I guess. That's kind of what I do, although I have to admit I'm kind of impressed with this McDowell card. I'd like to see it rack up some big strikeout numbers. Here's Hirschberger now. Pitch for McDowell, 1-7 against the left-hander. He pops him up. That's going to be playable for Brown. He's got it, 1 down. Here's Hawk Harrelson, 1 for 2. McDowell, the windup. Here's the pitch. That's a 1-11 against the lefty. A tapper down to third base. That's Max Alvis. Sure-handed Max scoops it up and throws him out. And with 2 away, Dick Green will come to the plate. 1 for 2 with an RBI double. McDowell, the windup. That's going to be a 4-4 to the right-hander. Fly to center field X. That's Davalillo. Vic's a 2-5 as he ranges to the gap. On a 16, he's there to make the catch to retire the side. 1-2-3 goes Kansas City in the fifth. And just like that, we're moving along to the bottom of the fifth in a 3-2 ball game. Oh yeah, and Sheldon was absolutely Kurt. Sheldon was on that great 61 Yankee team. The famous Maris-Mantle home run duel. You know, there were a lot of great players overlooked in that season, largely because all of the focus, the press was focused mostly on the Maris-Mantle race. And Mantle looked like he was going to be the one to get there first, actually. He slowed down near the end, and Maris passed him. Ended up with 61. Boy, and that freaked out the powers that be, did it not? You know what I'm talking about. McDowell will lead it off for Cleveland as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Sheldon ready to work, left-handed batter. That's a 1-12, pops him up. Second base, Green has it, 1 down. Here's Davalillo now. He struck out both times against Sheldon so far. Sheldon into the windup. Pitch to Vic on a 4-9. That's going to be a base hit into right field. 4-9 lefty, homer to 14. It's a 9. Vic is a weak. That'll be a 1-out single for Davalillo. Davalillo with great speed, star 15. Sheldon a -1, but Torres a +3. So that +2 makes him a 17. He'll have to be held on 1-15. And Alvis is going to hit away. From the stretch, pitch to Max Alvis, a 1-7, a double to 8, but that fly ball is going to be tracked down by Tartable in center. Runner will hold, and there's 2 down. Davalillo still held on first as Leon Wagner steps to the plate. 2 for 2, and of course his 3-run blast accounting for all of the Cleveland scoring to this point. Sheldon from the stretch. The pitch to Leon, a 3-7. He struck him out. And down goes the Tribe in the fifth. No runs a hit, they leave 1. We got a tight one after 5, 3-2 Cleveland. Oh, excuse me. If you missed the start of the broadcast, I took my laptop in yesterday and had it back within a couple of hours. All stats intact. Went through and double-checked all of the games, all of the wins and losses. One correction was made. Everything looks good, so I'm glad to have all my data back. In addition to all my Strat game and Strat data on there, oh my God, there's like 30,000 music tracks on that computer. Anyway, enough of that. Here's the sixth inning. McDowell ready to work to Charles, Chavarria, and Suarez. Kansas City trailing by a run as Ed Charles stands in, and here's the pitch. 1-7 against the lefty. Swung on and missed strike 3, and that's 7. Here's Chavarria now. 0 for 2, struck out once. McDowell the windup. The pitch a 6-3 to the right-hander. Grounder to the pitcher X. McDowell is a 1E15. And here's the roll on the play. On a 9, the error range. So at 15 on a roll of a 10, he boots it. Error McDowell. And that's the second Cleveland miscue of the game. Chavarria, a star 15. He'd be a 14 not held. And he's the tying run. They're going to have to hold him on, making him a 1 through 12. And here's Ken Suarez, 0 for 1 with a walk. McDowell from the stretch. Pitch to Suarez, a 2-7. He walks him. So a 1-out walk to Suarez puts runners at first and second. And now we've got our first tough call of the game. McDowell in S7, so fatigue not the issue, but what to do with Sheldon? He's pitched a fine ball game, but they trail by a run. Should we bat for Sheldon or let him hit? He could lay it down. He's a C bunter. I really don't want to take him out this early. What's his endurance? He's a 6. He's pitched 5. He's going to lay it down. He's a C on a 6. Sacrifice bunt, runners advance. So a sacrifice by Sheldon will put runners at second and third with 2 down. And that will give Campy Campaneris a crack at it. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second, and here's Campy with 2 down. And here's the pitch from McDowell. On a 1-7, tapper down to third. That's going to be Alvis. He's got it and throws him out to retire the side. No runs, no hits, they leave a pair. Still 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Sheldon's still pitching. We'll see if that turns out to be a good move or not. Ah, yes, Kurt, the legendary Johnny Sane. Has to be one of the greatest pitching coaches of all time, wouldn't you say? I certainly think so. And of course, when he was a pitcher, we all know the famous saying, spawn insane and pray for rain. Bottom of the 6th, it's going to be Colavito, Whitfield, and Gonzalez for the Tribe. Sheldon gets his sign from Suarez now. Here's the pitch to Rocky, a 6-8 to the right-hander. It's a grounder to second base X. That will be the sure-handed Dick Green, a 2E19. Green behind the bag. Here's the play. On a 7, he's got it. Pivots, throws him out, 1 down. Nice play, Dick Green, and there's 1 away. Here's Fred Whitfield now. Left-handed hitter. Sheldon into the windup. A 5-7 to the left-hander. He walks him. Ball 4. Whitfield takes first on the 1-out walk. And here's Pedro Gonzalez now. Gonzalez 0 for 2. Sheldon from the stretch now. The pitch is a 1-11 to the right-hander. That's a base hit into center field. That's an open single. Whitfield can try to go to third on that. Tartable's a +1 in center. Whitfield, however, is very slow. 1 through 9, 1 through 10. No, thank you. He'll hold up, and wisely. First and second 1 out, and here's Larry Brown. And now there's activity in the Kansas City pen. They used Monte Agudo in real life. He's a computer-only card. Let me pull him up here on my laptop. He is an extreme backwards righty, and he could have some usefulness. But the next 2 batters are right-handed. So they're going to get Monte Agudo up, but they're going to get a right-hander up with him. And that's going to be Ralph Terry. So Terry and Monte Agudo getting loose. Not sure of the pronunciation on that last one. Excuse me if it's wrong. First and second 1 out. Here's Larry Brown. Sheldon from the stretch now. That's going to be a 2-5 against the right-hander. He struck him out. 2 away, and Crandall will be the batter. Sheldon trying to get out of the jam now. 1-hitter walk from fatigue. From the stretch. The pitch to Crandall, a 1-7. Tapper down to short. That's going to do it. Campaneris goes the short way to green. And Sheldon pitches out of it. No runs a hit, a pair left on, and we've still got a 3-2 nail biter after 6 complete. So it was nice to see Sheldon escape that jam, especially after they chose to not pinch hit for him in the 6th. Now it's going to be Tartable, Hirschberger, and Harrelson due up for Kansas City as we move along to the 7th inning. And still no sign of Joel Horland today. Tartable steps in from the left side. McDowell's ready to work. The windup, the pitch, a 2-8. That's going to be down the right field line over the bag and into the corner. There goes Tartable. Colavito to round it up. It bounces away from him, chasing it down now. Tartable rounding second, slides in with a leadoff triple. 2-8 left-handed, triple to 14. The roll is a 2, and just like that, Kansas City has the tying run at third base and nobody out. And Cleveland will pull the infield in now as Mike Hirschberger comes to the plate. McDowell in jam here. He gets his sign. Infield in. The full windup. The pitch to Hirschberger. A 6-7 to the right-hander. He walks him. Oh, my goodness. And now we've got activity in the Cleveland bullpen. They did not use a reliever in real life in this game. 2-0 Cleveland here. That's the real life score. So let's see what they've got. Hargan's available. And Kelly. Steve Hargan and Tom Kelly, both right-handers getting loose. First and third, nobody out. Let's check Hirschberger for running. He's a star 16. Boy, they'd like to keep the infield in, but that's an invitation to let him run. He'd be a 1 through 15 automatic lead. And he's the go-ahead run. So they're going to have to hold Hirschberger on and play back. That makes Hirschberger a 1 to 13. They'll try to get a ground ball here, give up the run as Harrelson steps in. McDowell from the stretch. And here it is, a 4-7. Swung on and missed strike 3. And he needed that one. Holy cow. That's number 8. 1 down. Runner still held now. Infield back. And Dick Green will be the hitter. 1 for 3 today. One more hitter walk will fatigue Sudden Sam. From the stretch to Green, 5-6, struck him out. Oh my God, and McDowell bearing down now with runners at the corners and nobody out. He fans Harrelson and Green, and it's up to Ed Charles. Charles stepping in from the right side now. No longer holding Hirschberger. They'll let him go if he wants with 2 down. And that's not in the dish. That's a re-roll. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-5. Charles rips it down into the left field corner. Wagner after it. 1 run in. Here comes Hirschberger. He's going to score, and Charles is in with a 2-out triple, and Kansas City takes the lead. And not only that, McDowell is fatigued. Holy cow, let's look at that again. 2-5, triple. And he's got this homer triple. Look at all the triples on Charles on the left side. Oh my goodness. He had 8 triples that year in 385 at-bats. Apparently, all of them against left-handed pitching. Holy cow. And here comes Tebbets, and that's going to be it for McDowell. So McDowell, a stellar strikeout performance, but he leaves here trailing. And he walks back to the dugout. And Tom Kelly's going to come on for Cleveland. And welcome Franklin. I'm going to total out McDowell here. 6 2/3 he ends up with. 3, only surrendered 5 hits. He was his own worst enemy in this one. He walked 4. He walked 6 and hit a batter. Struck out 9. 4 runs so far. Runner at second, his responsibility. And here's Tom Kelly, the right-hander now, brought on to pitch to Ozzie Chavarria. Kelly's ready to work now. Here's the pitch, a 6-8 to the right-hander. Grounder to second base X. That'll be Gonzalez, a 3-E-14. And here's the roll on the play. On a 6, he makes the play. A fine stop and throws him out. Nice play, Gonzalez, to retire the side. But 2 runs for the Athletics on a pair of hits and a walk. They leave a man. And they take a 4-3 lead to the bottom of the 7th. Let's look at their defense now. That looks pretty good to me. Chavarria made the last out. They could do a little better in left field. Or could they? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, they've got Larry Stahl out there. Larry Stahl's going to come on for Chavarria and play left. Chavarria made the last out of the inning. Stahl, a 2-E-6 with a 0 arm. And Sheldon outlasts McDowell. I did it again. I didn't look where the pitcher batted, damn it. So we'll have a pinch hitter for Cleveland. Kelly's day is over at a third of an inning. All 4 runs charged to Sudden Sam. And Cleveland will start off the 7th with a pinch hitter. Steve Hargan, who is loosening, will come in. First of a 2-game series, the first day of the schedule of April 25th, 1966. See, they used Landis in real life. They don't really seem to have a lefty other than their other catcher. So Jim Landis it shall be. Landis pinch hit in this game in real life. So Jim Landis coming on here to lead off the bottom of the 7th to pinch hit for the pitcher. Indians trail by a run. Oh, and thank you very much, Elliot. Greetings, Elliot, and welcome. Are you new to the channel, Elliot? And absolutely, Charles, a triple. I thank you for that. So here we are. We have to remember to double. Oh, I remember you now. Yes, I remember your comment. You left a comment. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Now I make the connection. I'm a little slow sometimes. So forgive me. Here's Landis now. He's going to lead off against Sheldon. Sheldon, the sign from Suarez. Here's the pitch to Landis. 1-3 against a right-hander. It's a comebacker. Sheldon has it. Throws him out 1 down. So Landis is retired. And we go to the top of the order, Vic Davalillo. I'm just double-checking this. The triple, yes, he would have been stranded on 3rd instead of at 2nd. So no other scoring would have been affected. Still drove in 2 runs, so that's all good. Here's Davalillo now. Sheldon the windup. That's going to be a 5-6 to the left-hander, and Davalillo lines a base hit into center field. And just like that, the tying run is aboard, and it's a fast runner. Sheldon a -1, but against Suarez a +3, so that's +2, 17. Davalillo will have to be held on, making him a 1-50. And Max Alvis will be the hitter. For Kansas City, Terry and... do they need to get a lefty up? They probably do. And they're getting close to their closer time. So Terry will sit down. Lindblad and Aker loosening as Max Alvis steps to the plate. 1 on, 1 out. Sheldon from the stretch. The pitch to Alvis is a 1-5. Base hit into right field. That's going to be an open single to right. Hirschberger, a -4 cannon. Davalillo can go to 3rd. 17-19, -4, 15. He's going. They're going to cut the throw off and keep the go-ahead run at 1st. And now Sheldon's fatigued. Walking a single in the 6th, 2 singles here. He's in S6. Here comes Alvin Dark, and that's going to be all for Sheldon. So Alvis with a single. Sheldon's day is done. They're going to go to the lefty Lindblad with Leon Wagner coming up. And there's the Green Acres again, right on cue. So let's total out Sheldon here. 6 1/3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 hits. He didn't walk many. He only walked 1. Struck out 2, 3, 4. He's allowed 3 runs so far, 2 runners on his responsibility. And here's Lindblad now, the lefty. Brought on to face Leon Wagner with runners at the corners and 1 down. Alvis, no threat to run. From the stretch now. The pitch to Wagner, a 4-5 to the left-hander. High fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Hirschberger. He's going to make the catch. Davalillo will tag up and score easily, and the ball game is tied. So sacrifice fly, RBI Wagner. Davalillo in to score. There's 2 down now. The go-ahead run at first base. Who is Alvis? And here's Rocky Colavito. With Whitfield on deck. Colavito actually has more power against righties, so they're going to stick with Lindblad. From the stretch, the pitch to Rocky, a 5-4. It's a fly to center field X. That's going to be Tardival. He's a 2-E2, about as steady as you could want out of there as he ranges to his right. On a 20, he makes the catch to retire the side. So 8X, that'll go. The Indians are run on 2 hits. They leave a man. We've completed 7 here at Cleveland. It's a 4-4 deadlock. And boy, Kurt, you can say that again. Steve Hargan will come on now for Cleveland. Starter reliever. And he'll face the bottom of the order. Suarez, the pitcher's spot. And Campaneris. So Hargan's ready to work now. With a right-hander out there, Kansas City's going to send up a hitter for Suarez. And interestingly enough, they used Phil Roof in real life. That makes total sense to me. He'll bat for Suarez and stay in and do the catching. So Phil Roof coming on. Suarez basically worthless against right-handed pitching. He's a 2-E6 for the 0, also a much better defensive catcher than Suarez, as Hargan gets ready to work. The righty winds and deals. The pitch to Roof, a 3-10 against the right-hander. It's a fly ball into right field. Colavito's right there to make the catch, and there's 1 away. And now it'll be a batter for Lindblad. Lindblad in 2/3 of an inning retired both batters he faced. In a tie game now. Left, right, right. In a tie game now, they're going to go to John Wyatt. The righty. And we'll send up a pinch hitter for Lindblad. Bench running thin here in Kansas City. Talton, Causey, let me check their computer-only cards. They've got the young Sal Bando. But I'm guessing he wasn't on the roster yet in April. Donaldson probably was, and we know that Manny Jimenez was. He's a left-handed hitter. Their second baseman is Green. It's going to be Wayne Causey to pinch hit, a left-handed batter. Okay, here's Causey now. One down, tie ball game, top of the eighth. Pitch from Hargan, a 3-10 against the righty. It's a fly ball into left field. That's going to be playable for Wagner. Drifts over and makes the catch, 2 down. And Campy will be the hitter now with 2 away. Campaneris 0 for 2, hit by a pitch and walked. Stole a base in the first, came around to score. Here's the pitch from Hargan. 3-11, foul ball left side. That's going to be Alvis in foul territory, making the catch in a 1-2-3 inning for Hargan. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, all tied at 4. Here comes Wyatt now, 3.68, 95 innings of relief, 10 saves. Obviously not a save situation. Whitfield, Gonzalez, and Brown due for the Tribe. I want to thank all you guys for joining me today. Oh, and first I want to get to this thing. Yesterday I got an email from Joel Horland. He really enjoyed the Duckworth game, and he made me and sent me an attachment. He made me a Jim Duckworth card. And look, he's got it white, black and white with color. How cool is that? And it's the size, basically the size of a Strat card. From the computer game, of course, computer-only card. So now I have a Jim Duckworth card. I was hoping Joel would be here so I could thank him in person, although, of course, I sent him a thankful email. A response of thanks, let's call it. And Franklin, I'm sure it was 25. But in Strat-O-Matic, unless you only get 24, not counting the computer-only cards. So here's Wyatt ready to work now. Fred Whitfield will step in from the left side. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-5 to the left-hander. High fly ball into deep right field. Back goes Harold Hirschberger. It's gone on a 1. Holy shit, let's look at that again. 6-5, lefty, homer to 2. Whitfield has the power. It's a 1. And on a fence scraper, Fred Whitfield, oh my God, and the fans are just going hysterical here in Cleveland. Whitfield lofts it out. Hirschberger leaped for it at the wall, and it just did clear. Oh my God. Talk about excitement. 5-4 Indians, and here's Gonzalez now. And for Fred Whitfield, let's take a look at that. That's his 3rd home run of the season. Gonzalez stepping in from the right side now. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch from Wyatt, a 6-5. That's going to be a fly ball to left field, but that one's going to be caught by Larry Stahl, who was inserted for defense, and he makes the catch for the out. Gonzalez a weak anyway. 6-5 homer, 1-6, roll is a 14. It would have been a single even if he'd have gotten it. And here's Larry Brown. Brown's 1 for 3. Wyatt into the windup. A 1-4 to the righty. Tapper down to third base. That's Ed Charles. Scoops it up. Throws him out, 2 away. And with 2 down, Del Crandall will step to the plate. Crandall's 0 for 3. Wyatt, the sign from Roof. That's going to be a 1-6 tapper to short. Campaneris across to Harrelson. That will do it. But Cleveland stuns Kansas City, most particularly Fred Whitfield, with a home run, and they lead it 5-4. As we go to the ninth inning. So that brings an interesting question. Do they stay with Hargan? Let's see what else was in the pen. Who got most of their saves? McMahon? McMahon's going to be loosening, but my inclination is to let Hargan go back out. He retired the side in order in the 8th. And it will be Tartable, Hirschberger, and Harrelson for Kansas City. As we go to the top of the 9th, Kansas City trails by a run. Thanks again, everyone, for joining me today. This was a good one. Not exactly the Sam McDowell performance that we may have expected, but it turned out to be a great game nonetheless. And here's Tartable now. Hargan ready to work. The windup, the pitch, a 3-8. Base hit into right field for Tartable. That's a leadoff single. Tartable has wheels. 19 held a 17. And that's going to be it for Hargan. Here comes Bertie Tebbetts. So a short leash for Hargan in the 9th. He gave up a leadoff single to Tartable. And he's going to be pulled. And here comes the stopper, Don McMahon. McMahon, among other things, a -6 hold. So McMahon, as we saw on the pregame show, among the AL, tied for the American League lead in saves with 2. 2. Well, it's early. And what the heck, I've lost. Did I lose it? Can anyone verify that we're connected? I lost a screen view there for a minute. Kurt, do we have connection? Anyone? Okay, thank you, Franklin. We're back. Yeah, all I had was this little spinning wheel on the screen there. Okay, Tartable at first. He's a 19. McMahon, a -6, would make him a 13. So they will not need to hold him on any longer. And here's Hirschberger from the stretch. Here's McMahon's pitch. 3-10 to the right-hander, and he walks him. Holy cow, 9th inning drama. Tartable down to second. So the tying run in scoring position, he's got speed. Hirschberger, the go-ahead run at first base, he's got speed. And here comes Hawk Harrelson. Nobody out. McMahon gets the sign from Crandall, and from the stretch, here's the pitch to Hawk, a 3-9. He rips a single with 2 stars into right field, and the game is all tied up. It's an RBI single for the Hawk. Tartable into score, Hirschberger into third. Oh my goodness, first and third, nobody out, 5-5. McMahon is in deep trouble here, and Harrelson a star 18. McMahon a 6, makes him a 12, so they won't need to hold him on. Now how are they going to play it? They got to pull the infield in. I know, Franklin, isn't it incredible? I feel so fortunate to have that. I think the card set has a lot to do with it, as I mentioned before. A pitching-dominated year makes for a real tight card set. But yeah, I've been unusually lucky with the drama is... It's like it's built into the game. It's like what some people accuse the computer game of, that Hal has the built-in drama, which I don't believe, but anyway. It's built into the cards and dice somehow. Here's Green now, fouls one off, McMahon set. Here he comes, infield in. That's a 5-6 to the right-hander. That's going to be a grounder to short A with the infield in. Runner on third holds, other runners advance. So they don't get the double play, but they do cut off the run. (4-3), Harrelson takes second. Infield in prevents a run, but now there's runners at second and third and one down, and Charles, the batter. And of course, Ed Charles ripped that 2-run triple in the 7th to give Kansas City their second lead of the game. Infield in with one down. McMahon very deliberate now. Gets the sign from Crandall. And here's the pitch to Ed Charles. On a 2-8. Single 2 stars. Kansas City takes the lead. Charles has done it again. Oh my goodness. Hirschberger scores. Harrelson scores. 2 RBIs for Charles, who has 4 on the day. And it's 7-5, Kansas City. And the Cleveland crowd goes quiet. They're stunned. They are stunned. You can hear a pin drop in this place. And Larry Stahl will come up now. He came in for defense for Chavarria. McMahon from the stretch. The pitch to Stahl is a 5-4. Grounder to third base, X. That's Alvis. A 3E21? Did I get that right? Yes, a 3E21. And here's the play. On an 8, it's the error range. The roll is a 6 on a 21, and Alvis boots it. Error max Alvis. And the wheels are coming off. Charles to second. For the Indians, their third error of the contest. And Stahl's aboard now. Still only 1 out. And here's Phil Roof. And it's all McMahon. You got that right, Kurt. At this point, I would have to agree. First and second, 1 out. The pitch from the stretch to Phil Roof is a 3-7. That's a grounder to short. That's going to be 2. Brown to Gonzalez to first. 6-4-3, but too little too late as the Athletics plate 3 on 3 hits. A stunning 2-run single by Ed Charles with a triple and a single and 4 RBIs. He's in line to be the Spokane Chief Gary player of the game. That's right. That's right. I thought of that yesterday. That's what it should be. And now who's going to pitch the 9th for Kansas City? Now they're going to go to the closer. They're going to bring Aker in and remove Wyatt. Wyatt worked an inning, gave up a hit and a run. No walks, no Ks. And no, this spot belongs to no one else but the 32 save, 1.99 ERA, Jack Aker. Wait a second here. I have to check something. I thought Aker got traded at some point. Just double checking now. No, he was with Kansas City all year. He led the league in games finished. He led the league in saves with 32. So they traded a lot of players that season, but they held on to their closer. And we'll start off with a pinch hitter for McMahon. Hargan 1+, 1 hit or run. McMahon 2/3, 2 hits, a walk, 2 runs. And we'll have a pinch hitter for McMahon to start off the bottom of the 9th. Aker, a righty. Okay, you've got Hinton. Chuck Hinton will be the batter. Seems like about the best they have. Okay, here's Chuck Hinton now. 7-5 Kansas City. Aker is ready. Here's the pitch to Chuck Hinton. 6-9 to the righty. Grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Campaneris. He's a 3E23. There's the roll on the play. On a 14, he's got it. Throws him out, 1 down. Hinton retired, and that'll bring up Vic Davalillo. Vic's 2 for 4. Aker, the sign from Phil Roof. Here's the pitch. 5-3 to the lefty. Grounder to the pitcher X. Aker, a 2E0. On top of all of his other attributes. Here's the roll on the play. On a 20, he makes a fine play, throws him out. And we're down to the last out here. 1-3X, it'll be Max Alvis. A lot of the crowd already filing out of the ballpark now as Max Alvis steps to the plate. Aker into the windup. That's going to be a 2-10. Tapper down to third. That's Charles. Only fitting that Ed Charles would make the last play of the game, and that's the ball game. 7-5 Athletics. They improved to 4-5. Cleveland drops to 6-2, dropping them a half a game behind both Baltimore and Minnesota. Aker does pick up a save for that. 1 flawless inning. So then who's the winning pitcher? Hargan. Hargan would pick up the win. 5-4, so the second run allowed would be the losing pitcher. That would be McMahon. Boy, that was a good one, wasn't it, guys? Holy crap. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining me. I'm just happy you guys got to see a great ball game. That was a good one. Boy, I enjoyed the hell out of that. The Athletics end up with 7 runs on 8 hits. They made no errors. For Cleveland, 5 runs on 9 hits. They made 3 errors. We can check the pitching records here. For Hargan, his first decision, he's 1-0. No. Hargan, what am I saying? McMahon's the losing pitcher. Good grief. Wyatt's the winning pitcher. McMahon takes the loss. He's 1-1. For Kansas City, that's Wyatt's first decision. He's 1-0. I beg your pardon. Looking at the wrong damn team there. Anyway, we got it straightened out. Seven to 5. Athletics. I've got to check my stats. I'm not seeing. Where did McMahon's saves go? Anyway, I will look into that. Saves. There's Sherry. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Anyway, I might play another one later today. If not, there'll be a game. Definitely be a game tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. The next game on the schedule is Minnesota and Detroit, Dave Boswell and Denny McClain. So please join me for that. I want to thank everybody again for watching. This is Spokane Steve. Chief Gary. Chief Spokane Gary player of the game is Ed Charles. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great evening.